All right, good morning, everybody. Going to do a video today. We have a big lapse in time since the last video I've done. It's the 30th of or 31st of the month, last day of the month. It's a Friday. We have still not found a location for to go to, but we are slowly clearing out our building. As you can see back here, um, the trees, the piles are down. The sales, the sales are there to an extent. Our location has actually been really busy with people coming in, not knowing that we're here, coming in and saying, "Oh, we're sorry that you're closing." Man, this is a good place to shop. A lot of good deals. So that's kind of like where we're at right now. We have clothes all the way over right here. I do have the lights off half of the store. Here's our watermelons. So what we did was we took these Disney hooded zip ups, and we posted on Marketplace that we got these for $5 each. Buy four get one free, but I think the buy four get one free is gonna have to end pretty soon. Yeah, so they're right here, all the sizes. So there's money in this store, guys. It's just we just got to get it. And month to date, we actually were at like 96,000. So we've been having some very steady days, but just by running the numbers, we're still short on being safe when we close down. We're still short at least 100,000, and that's after everything. That's not oh, if you get $100,000 in sales you'll be fine. No, we need another $100,000, and I don't even think that that's enough. I think that 150 would 150 on top of whatever we got is gonna help us. So I don't know if the money's here. I think it is, just because if you took every item in this whole building and got $1 for it, I mean, there's your 150,000 right there. But the question is when we start next month, tomorrow, start putting the store at like 15% off your whole entire purchase. Is that going to take away from the money that we needed because we're giving stuff too cheap? That's the question. Who knows? This literally is like it's like a chance game that we're playing. There's a chance that we're going to win. There's a chance that we're going to lose. I got a lot of stuff done over the weekend. This whole area here used to be filled um, with stuff down there on that rack. This is actually all garbage, guys. This whole pallet. This is not going to get donated. This is going to get thrown in the garbage. There's like pedestal bases. There's windows. There's doors to cabinets in here. There's some sinks, panels. There's incomplete furniture in there. So that's going to be something where we got to throw that in the dumpster. The dumpster has almost halfway empty status on it, so we still have room, but we also have all this cardboard that we need to do something with. This pallet right here is um, basically a bunch of components for doors, like sliding doors or pocket doors. Yeah, they're pocket doors. So I don't know if those have any value. Those are that's probably the donate. Um, that's the donate pile. So I put some vanity tops out. We did sell 3 of them. We did find one of them was broken. This quartz top one right here, that guy's broken. It's a 37-inch. So here's can't really see it in the corner, but that corner is cracked. So that's a waste. I have these tops right here, oddball sizes that no one's gonna need. 18.5 wide by 16 deep top. I mean, I don't remember having customers coming in requesting those anytime I've been open. We got a couple of build your own vanities. These right here, this whole pile right here, are behind the wall tank systems. Those are probably potential eBay, I'm pretty sure, but the size to ship it, when I sell it, that's where that's going to get absorbed into the cost of selling that item. I have this is all the leftover Target high piece count. You know, we got like this watermelon and this watermelon. We're going to try to sell this as a whole, just the whole pallet. People just been digging through it. No one's really been interested in it. I think I put 225 on the whole pallet. There's definitely over 200 pieces in there, so that's gonna probably have to be a Toys for Tots donate. This is just a big pile of those top mount sinks that would only be good for like a contractor or like somebody that's got a lot of units in a building that needs to be rehabbed. We have a whole bunch of air conditioners left over that are 220 right here, and then this goes into the heaters. We've actually sold some good amount of heaters. Um, we've been moving a lot of inventory these last couple of days. I still don't understand why my store looks so full because of all the stuff that we put out. Somebody bought the laptop, somebody bought the desktop, so we don't have those anymore. Somebody bought a speaker, a big Bluetooth speaker, and then a TV went. These were on eBay. Oh, sorry. Here we go again. These are blankets. I took these off of eBay. I got them at $10. I did sell a few of them on eBay, and we decided that we're not going to wait for those sales. We're going to get the capital now. Sorry, I'm trying to readjust my gimbal here. Okay, so yeah, so this is shelving in the corner filled with a bunch of arts and crafts. There's those Peeps things there. We got those for $5. They're actually selling, but not fast enough. The arts and crafts sets are selling, it looks like. So yeah, we're moving stuff, but it's just like I said, it's not moving quick enough. Clothes racks, not really thinning out. The next step when we do the 15% off the whole store is to probably drop that buy 4 get 1 free for the clothing, and then we got to get our clothes stepping down in price. Right now with the sale, they're getting them for $4 a piece, and there are some name brands in there, but once we start getting to like 25 and 30% off or 35% off, we're going to start getting down to liquidation prices. But I don't want to be banking on selling this stuff to a reseller at the end. I want my customers to take the deal, and I want whatever's left over to be sold as store clean out loads to be whatever's left over cheap, because I know once I start putting clothes out there for sale, like the amount that we have, everybody's going to want under $2 a piece, even though it's club clothing. I think I'd rather just give that deal to my customers. But the thing is are the customers going to take that off my hands faster than if I just lump it all up? Because I do have to hand count it just to make sure that I'm getting, my money back the right way. Toilet paper. So we're down to this one pallet, and then the other pallet's sold, and that's it. So there's that pallet, that one pallet, and then there's a pallet by the front, and then a pallet by the register, half pallet full. So toilet paper is finally almost all gone. That one we bought a truckload of 30 pallets last December, so we've had it almost a year, and there was 4,000 12 packs in that truckload, or over 4,000 truckloads or 12 packs in that truckload. So I think I paid $5 for the load, and I think we're at like 15,000 in sales. So that one wasn't bad, and that just shows you that opportunity buys, when they come along, you got to really know what that is and what that looks like. The guy I bought it from, he was desperate for space. He wasn't happy that he sold that whole thing for $5,000, but I think he was sitting on that load since COVID. So that guy, I think, imported the toilet paper when there was a toilet paper shortage, or maybe towards the end of that. I'm not sure. I think he got like a whole shipping container. Maybe he even got two, and that was just like left over, and he was just kind of moving on. I did see in the marketplace on his post when I saw it, because he came up to me and asked me if I wanted to buy it, but I already knew that he had it. I saw people making remarks to him, and it was actually a younger kid, in his 20s. But I saw people making comments like, "Oh, you're hoarding toilet paper, you're price gouging this and that." Um, so I don't know what became from that, because when I got it pretty cheap. But I do know that he was selling it for over double what I was selling it for, before I bought it. So here's the back area. All that back there, we still haven't gotten to it. This is the back wall of the processing area. And then this has all been not really organized 100%, but we've kind of separated stuff, and we've put everything that we're taking with us in the back. Those watermelons way back there stacked up high. That's all inventory that we're going to bring with us. It's all clothes. There might be a half pallet of shoes. And then this is our dock area. It's a big mess. There's a lot of stuff that needs to go into the dumpster. So this weekend, I do have warehouse help today, 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Tomorrow, from 10 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And then Sunday from, I think I got them until noon. So it's going to be interesting to see how much money or how much things get put in that dumpster. We actually got to fill that thing and get it out of here Monday. So it's got to be done this weekend. And then I can start piling up for next time. I think I'm hoping that we only have one more dumpster, but it's a possibility that we're going to have two. I still haven't done anything with our fixtures on putting them out there, because we still haven't found our location, and I don't want to give away or get rid of any racking until I know what space I'm going to be going at, because the last thing I need to do is put myself in a financial bind where I got to rebuy stuff that I already had, and that's not going to work. So we got gondolas, we got racking, this whole thing right here, that pegboard behind me, that's actually a shelf. It's only like 18 inches deep, so that one's not really that useful to us. We like the ones that are at least 24 inches deep. Or actually, that one might be 24 inches deep. I'd have to measure it. But we do have all these gondolas. I know that gondolas are kind of hard to get rid of, even though when I buy them, the demand supposedly is high, and that's why the prices are high. But I know from past experiences, gondolas in this area, they're not something that move on Facebook. So that's going to be interesting. Worst case scenario, what we do is we take the ones that we want that are on wheels, because I do have gondolas on wheels, and take the other ones and just disassemble them and take them to scrap. Keep the pegboard, because the pegboard would still be useful, and it still could be sold to a regular consumer if I needed to. But the shelving or gondolas themselves, very specific on who needs those. So even if I put them super cheap, that doesn't guarantee that they're going to sell. So yeah, there's a death pile still on this area here. This is actually back by our tech bay. There's a bunch of pallets and boxes over there that we need to deal with. When I walk around the store, I continue to see piles of this, piles of that. When am I going to have the time to do all that? December is going to be crazy with getting this place cleared out. The idea, I also have, on top of that, I have all these pallets, all these 4-way pallets and all these regular pallets. Now the pallets are easy, because the basic pallets, I can sell them to a pallet guy. The 4-ways are going to be tricky, because those are specific to only certain people. I do have 2 potential places where I would try to unload those at, and there's a lot of them. So whoever needs them, and I find that they need them, they're going to be pretty interested in them. I just got to make sure that I get it to the right people. Christmas, like I said, we got the trees. I think it looks like we sold like 250 5 trees or something, and we have 300 total. So this is all the decor stuff. This is all the stuff that's going to be once we get these discounts going crazy. This is the stuff that people are going to hopefully see the value in and buy a bunch of it. I mean, we got ornaments. Still have a bunch of club stuff like nativity sets. So those are still there. Everything that's on this side has been skimmed through. All the wreaths and garlands are pretty much all gone. But we are looking bare for Christmas. So I'm gonna walk here. So these are tables here with telepatry, and there's like decor, all club stuff, and then you get into your home improvement store stuff, and then this is our Target. So the staff on this guy, somebody broke that. It's sitting on the table. It needs to be re-glued. We also had a couple of donations to the food banks. So cereal looks like it's almost getting gone. So that's that. And I'll go around to the other side. So that's what's left for the box cereal. And then we put the bag cereal in these. And these are almost gone. So I'm pretty sure the cereal is going to be almost gone, and whatever's left over, most of that stuff's going to be in date, except for like 2 types. And I'm going to donate that, whatever's left over. These tree stands, I have a bunch of these. So there's 3 pallets of these. I want to say that I have over 50 of them easily, maybe even close to 75. Those were I've been talking about calling up a tree place. Maybe this will happen this weekend where I make a call, and then somebody says, yeah, I'm interested. I can throw those. Actually, there's 4 pallet spaces. I can put those in my box truck, and if I need to, just drive them over to them if they're local. These things right here, these Greenworks, I think I'm down to 7 of those. So those have been selling. There's quite a few items here that I'm kind of worried about, in this whole 31,000 square foot space. There's quite a few items that I'm worried about that are gonna be hard to get rid of unless I put them into those store cleanout loads. I don't want to pawn my stuff off of people that I can't sell, but another thing too, you got to keep in mind, markets are always different. So the stuff may not sell with me, but send it somewhere else and then give it to them a good enough price where they can move it cheap, and there might be an issue. Might not be an issue. Now, what I'm trying to do is determine, based on what I see in my store as the days go by, what's moving and what's not. I'm trying to determine if my price point is still too high. I think once you add the 15% off your entire purchase, I think that changes the game. But it's really going to be a game of chance, guys, just like I was saying. And I'm just hoping that we can win on this one, and we don't get to a point where our next stage is started off with the biggest hurdle of money in the bank. Because right now, the bank, it's good with, if we just keep moving the way we're moving, we'll be fine. But once we start seeing slower days under $3,000, that's gonna just basically take away, and we're gonna lose that time. Now, there is talk where we were thinking about just being open 7 days next month, and we have to decide today, and we have to put it out there, because I do know that my outdoor camera does alert me throughout the day multiple times of people walking up to the building thinking that we're open on Mondays and Tuesdays. So I think if we turn that back on, we're going to have to deal with, adding 2 more days onto selling to the public, which that in itself is exhausting on top of everything here. So think about it, guys. One cashier in the morning, one cashier to close. Saturdays and Sundays we have just one cashier for the whole shift. Me and Kathy do help out when the lines get backed up, so we've been doing that. We have one eBayer that works 2 days a week, a couple hours, and then my warehouse person's actually helping out with eBay, and she works Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. She is off today, so today's Friday. So that's about it with labor. I mean, we have another person that comes in and helps on her schedule 1 or 2 days a week, if 1 day, but 2 days if we're lucky. She's actually I don't have to worry about her because I know that everything that she does, she's on point with everything. So I whenever I talk about people in my videos, I don't really talk about her that much because I want to give her credit, but I don't feel like she's any source of any problems to me. So that's a blessing right there to have that situation, and I'm very thankful for it. That's just one less thing I have to like deal with. But yeah, that's in a nutshell. That's where we're running at, and then we also have a guy who comes in, like I was saying, that he comes in and helps with on the weekends, to help me with the garbage and all that, and help me like move things around and whatever's going on for that weekend. So it could just be that I just need more people here, but the problem is the payroll does not support any more labor, especially because the things that I need to have done, a lot of times that needs to come from me, and it's just based on what's going on from the day of or the day prior, what led up to it, and it's a fly at the seat of your pants situation, guys. Every day you got to be coming up with conclusions on problems that you think that you have or that that you have, and it has to be split second decisions, and there's no time to redo or undo things. So if you can imagine all the fires that need to be put out, and you can imagine all the problems that we deal with every day, on top of everything, on top of not having the cash flow that you need to get into the next stage, not having the location picked out yet because of the last location that we almost went into, we just couldn't come to terms. It was very heavy on the lessor or the person leasing the building versus the leasee, which is us. It was very favored for him, but it wasn't favored for us. And you don't get into contracts with people that can't value as a customer. And even though we're a business, we're his customer, and he didn't value us enough to make it work on both ends. So we basically said, we're going to keep looking. I don't think that I would even want to go back to, you know, saying that might be an option for us, because I don't think it is. If you can't start off a relationship on a good foot, especially with a landlord, um, that's your cue to just keep looking for the other landlord that will meet your needs, and that's what we're at right now. We're going to look at another place today that we looked at, and the landlord seems like he's not desperate, but he's willing to work with us. It is a big space. It's 8,000 square feet. The problem with this next space is it doesn't have an overhead door, but it has a dock. The landlord said that he would put an overhead door in. But then once you start doing stuff like that, then you start having less negotiation power because he's coming out with money out of pocket. Now, the other problem with that location is it's not zoned for warehouse sales. So history has said in that city, I saw another business that was in trouble with the village for putting up too big of a sign, and they were fined, and they were basically in a quarrel with the village because their sign was too big, and that tells me right off the bat that that city or that village is going to be very stringent. And when you're finding a location, guys, you have to look at zoning. You have to look at how the village handles stuff. So when you call them, immediately you should know right away if they're easy to work with or they're not. If they start, um, talking about policies and laws and this and that, and they don't give you options, then that's a big red flag, guys. That's to tell you, hey, maybe this city is not the city for my type of business. So that's to me. We haven't made the call over there to see what the permit process looks like for changing the zoning. This type of business inside a manufacturer's space does need special use because customers walking in, that changes the game for everything. You definitely got to have sprinklers. You got to have everything with your exits planned out. It's got to be where a regular retail store where it follows the guidelines on safety, and it's got to be accessible. Like this location that we're looking at is probably not going to be accessible, for a wheelchair. So that's the kind of stuff that you need to know, guys. And you know, that's stuff that it should be common knowledge. But a lot of people that get into this industry, they don't think about stuff like that, and that's why I'm bringing it up. So yeah, that's I don't think that location is going to work just because of that. Because the front door and the back door, they don't seem to be. The front door is actually less than 36 inches, which I don't understand that. The back door, it looks like it might be 36, but who knows what's on the other side of the parking lot back there, and who knows if that's, because people park back there, then you got to go to the back of the building to let them in. I don't see how that's feasible. So that location, it might not even be good for warehouse sales, but I mean, it's a big space. We can do a lot with that space, but you can't be buying or you can't be renting an 8,000 square feet building when you only have the income being generated for a 2,000 square foot building, if that makes sense. You got to look at every square foot. What's it going to do for me, and what can I do with it? And then kind of go from there. And in this case, if it's 8,000 square feet and I can't have customers coming in on warehouse sales, then that tells me right there that that space is not going to work. So I don't know if it's something where we need to be focusing on just not worrying about tailoring to warehouse sales. But the problem is when you look at, what kind of money do we need to be coming up with every month for the next 6 months? The warehouse sales is actually crucial for that. So that's why we're trying to push for that. Because if we can't generate the income to support the debt that we have to repay in the next 6 months, then no matter what we do, it's gonna be the same thing that we're going through right now. We're gonna get into the next stage. We're gonna be fighting to come up with the to pay the bills every month, and then it's just gonna be continuing this type of situation like what we're dealing with now, with not enough traffic, not enough revenue being generated. And even though now that we're closing, we have the traffic and we have the sales, it's just now we can't fulfill the needs of our new customers because we can't buy any new inventory. So huge dilemma, guys. And I hope that when you're watching this, you're following me, because this is what we're going through right now. This is not fun and games. There's a lot on the line. There's a lot of problems that need to be figured out. And I have a feeling that we're doing as best as we can. I'm not feeling like we're not, but I'm feeling the mental anguish with nonstop problems to be solved, and then the whole question of, is this going to work the next stage? So this video was more for just giving you guys an update, showing you a little bit of inventory that we got gone through, and then also talking about what the pain is I'm going through this very moment. This isn't something that I'm making up. This is all true problem that we're dealing with, not live, but like real time. And there's a lot of stuff that we still need to do with next month, because keep in mind, this store closes, we got to empty it, we got to figure out whatever's left over, how to get rid of it, got to move into the new space, and then we got to set up the new space, we got to get the new space operating immediately, because if we shut down the eBay in fourth quarter in December, we're shooting ourselves in the foot big time. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what's this transition going to look like, this as smooth as possible. And you know, when we get to the new space, how do we target our sales in the right direction and have every option available to us? How do we get that going like ASAP? So yeah, so I appreciate you guys watching. I'm gonna conclude my video. Like and subscribe if you want, and then if you want to drop a line. I still haven't gotten any comments or anything like that, so I'm not sure what, when you guys are watching this, you know, are you just watching this just to see if I'm on the video saying, hey, we're done, you know, I'm out, or hey, we got it to the next location, this is what's going on. I'm not sure what you guys are trying to get out of this, but there's a lot of information that I'm sharing that is real time, and you can learn from it. So just be careful if you're thinking about getting into one of these discount stores, you know, or even maybe a bin store. You know, just remember you need that money. That money is the biggest thing. If you don't have that money, don't even think about it. So yeah, I appreciate it, guys. Reach out and have a good day.